My wife is from Hong Kong.
Do you like your wife more or the bat?
You know what my answer is going to be for that. My wife, of course. My name is Gary Ades. I work at Kaduri Farm and Botanic Garden. I'm the head of the Fauna Conservation Department. And my work involves managing a wildlife rescue centre and several endangered species projects. Since I was very, very young, I've just naturally been interested in animals and nature, so I was probably born like this. When I was a kid, I came across my first bat. I saved a bat from a cat, and then when I got it in my hand, it was the first time I'd ever seen a little mammal that has wings. So it was quite fascinating. So I started to read a lot about the bat to find out what it was, what species of bat, and how you feed bats, that sort of things. Many people have the wrong view. We're trying to encourage people to have another view about bats. At the time when I was doing my study, there were several species that were quite interesting. One species which lives in this area is called a Ricketts big-footed bat. We discovered that that bat was actually feeding on fish as well as insects, so that was quite an interesting thing to see, a bat species actually catching fish and eating them. We use those in our education program for encounter experiences for children, to encourage people to look at nature and have these connections with nature. And through the rescue work, obviously a great motivation is seeing those animals being released back to the freedom into the forest. When you see that happen, I think it's quite a thrill to see animals that you've been caring for and your staff have been looking after going back into the wild. It's hard once you've started to care for them. I have struggled all the time, but I think you've got to get over it. You've got to understand that the animals that you're going to release back to the wild, they're going to be happier in the wild. They meet their friends again, and they can have their families in the wild. It's not fair to hold them in captivity. There's been a very positive change, in my opinion, over the last 15 years, because I think more people are becoming aware about the countryside. The public should appreciate the beauty that we have in Hong Kong, the country parks, places where you can still connect with nature. This is a great legacy for the people of Hong Kong. It's free. You pay for everything, don't you, in life, but we don't pay for this. To keep what we have, not to lose any more. So I encourage people to enjoy the country parks, but also to respect it and respect the wildlife and help us to conserve and protect the wild animals and plants in Hong Kong. In the country parks, enjoy and embrace nature.